Hi, and welcome to Creative Digital Designs, and I am back with another video. So today I'm going to be going over um, how to design a flyer that you're going to be using for a call or a live call or a training. And so I'm going to go in here and I selected a template in Canva. Then once I found this template that I wanted to use, I went ahead and the first thing that I usually do is depending on who I'm creating the flyer for, I will pick their brand colors. I will get the brand colors from the person, and I will make sure to use those brand colors within the design. And so when I'm designing, that's the first thing that I want to go ahead and I usually change about the template is I go in and change the colors as well as I add in the text that I'm going to put in. So as you can see here, I'm putting the Productivity and Profits Fridays because that is the name of the call. And I go in here and I'm changing the colors out to the brand colors right here, which is this black, blue, and red. I pick the color that looks the best for the design. And as you can see, I'm doing that for the joint R as well. And there was a background shading over it, so I'm moving that out the way. And I wanted to see what I wanted to do with this background, so that I decided that I like the background, but I don't want the guy sitting there in the chair. So what I'm going to do is go to Magic Grab, and I'm going to select him in the chair so that I can remove that, but keep the desk background because it goes along with the flyer design. Then I'm going to hit Grab, and once it removes it, now I have that background that I like. It takes a couple seconds to do. Now I can grab it and remove it completely off of the flyer design. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and grab the person who is going to be hosting the call, and I'm going to put her in the background instead. Pasting her image here, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch it out. And then now I'm going in and editing the colors of this overlap to match the brand once again. So I want it to be on theme, so I'm going to do a red color. So here I'm just checking which type of red shade that I want to use that's going to look the best for this overlay. That one looks good, so I'm going to go with that one, and then I'm going to go through the style to see which looks best. Here I'm going to make her bigger in the background by stretching out using those dots on the side. And then I'm going to go in and change all these other colors. Over here, I'm changing this to blue and black. And then I decide, okay, blue and red looks better. Now I'm going to put this overlay back over here. We want to go ahead and zoom her in so it's not as stretched out, and we're going to click backwards a few times to make sure that she's behind all of the text. Now we're going to go ahead and change out the rest of the elements, and we're going to make that black. So this here at the top, this is where you're going to put the logo of the person or the whoever you're working with. If you don't have a logo, then you can just put the name of the person or the business. But right here, I'm going to put the logo here, which is Book Profits Club. I copied from another design and then I pasted it right here, and then I'm going to just stretch it out till it fits this particular section. We're going to make sure it's centered, and then now we're going to go ahead and edit this text for what this particular class is going to be about. So I went ahead and copied that text, the productivity and profits, and then I'm going to go ahead and put it right here at the top, and I pasted it in this text box. I'm going to go ahead and move these other elements now down so that I can make sure that everything fits. This particular font takes up a lot of space, so I'm going to see what I'm going to do. Here I'm going ahead and changing the line spacing, making them closer together. And as you can see, it doesn't fit in this section, so I'm going to have to see whether I can zoom it in, or right now I'm going to make that space a little bit bigger, but I'm going to have to go ahead and change the font. So I'm going to look for a font that's going to fit this space a lot better. Going through to see which ones I like the best. So we're going to go with this one, and then it fits, as you can see, it fits the space a lot better. And I'm going to go ahead and stretch it out as much as I can for this particular space. Make sure that I have everything centered and aligned. And just for design purposes, I'm going to go ahead and put a $sign there since we're talking about profits instead of an S. Make sure that my sizing and spacing is good, not too close, not too far away. Now I'm going to change the color of profits in order to have a little bit more design elements to it. And we're going to change this yellow right here to one of the colors. We're going to do red since we just did white and blue. I'm determining right now whether or not I need this block here or not. And so one thing about creating flyers and being creative, as you go, you figure out what will work and what won't, and then you can go ahead and change it. So I think for here, I'm going to put the person's name who is going to be doing the live class. So we're going to be doing Nishika Melton there. And I'm just trying to figure out what is the best font to use for this particular section. And I like to try a few fonts. I wanted to go with some type of cursive font to keep it a little bit more fancier, but make sure that people can still read her name and it's not too unlegible. Once I determine which one I want to go with, now I decide that I'm going to make it white, and I am not going to use the white block at all. I'm just going to place it directly in the box, and I'm going to go ahead and stretch it out to resize it, and determine whether or not I'm going to put everything on one line or not. So now I'm just cleaning some things up, removing some tags, making sure that everything is centered and positioned properly. And we're going to go ahead and place this back over. Make sure it's covering this space how I want it to look, and we are going to looking over to see what am I going to add in this particular section based off of the details that I received. And so right here, I went ahead and copied the text that I had and put every second and fourth Friday of the month, because that's when this particular live is going to be here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just stretch it out, see how we want to center it. We changed the blue text to join her. Want to make sure everything is centered. Go ahead and change this color by using the exact font color for the brand, and I went ahead and put that in there, made it gradient, and added my other color as white. And then I'm going to go ahead and select the particular style that I want to do. So I usually just click through them to see which looks the best. So far, the first one looks the best, so we might keep it, or that one looks the best. That's not as much red over her, since she does have an orange-ish reddish color on her. So you really just play with it till you see what will work best for your design. Once you have gotten that figured out and you like how it looks, you can go ahead and go to the next part of the design. We still have some text on here that was already used from the template, so we're going to have to go ahead and get that information so that we can edit that. So for here, we're putting the time of the class, 1 p.m. Eastern. Then you can go ahead and stretch out the letter spacing however you like it. And then on the bottom of that text, we're going to go ahead and put where people will be able to join live. So I'm going ahead and put it's going to be live in the Book Profits Club Facebook group. That way, when this is shared on social media, people will know exactly where to go. And then we're going to go ahead and just put join live here instead of book now, and change this font to black, and change the color of this particular button to fit the brand. So we're going to make that blue so that it pops, and there's not that much blue on the graphic. We're going to change the font to white because it looks better with that blue. Then we're going to make it a little bit bigger. Now we're going to go ahead and edit this text over here. Join BPC, which is Book Profits Club, and then we're going to put the website to join, which is bookprofitsclub.com. So we have two call to actions on here. We're telling them to join the live, and we're telling people who have not joined to join Book Profits Club, which helps you to be able to generate more income for authors and entrepreneurs. Now we're just looking over everything, making sure that everything is centered, how we like the coloring and everything. And we're going to hit position, arrange, and we're going to go ahead and select her to make her just a little bit smaller. We've made this black part a little bit bigger as well. Making sure, like, once again, you just go over making sure your design is centered and you like the sizing and the spacing of everything. We're going to go ahead and put this on 2 different lines so that we have a little bit more space and we can make it a little bit bigger. We're going to go ahead and select it and put spacing, and we're going to give a little bit of space between these 2 lines, just so they're not so clumped up. Stretch it out as much as we can in this section. Go to effects, we're going to click on shadow, And we selected that particular text every second and fourth Friday. So we're going to go ahead and select. We go through, there's different type of effects that you can add. So I put outline and we're going to do black, and we're going to lessen the thickness to about that much, just so it pops a little bit more on this. And then we selected join her. We're going to click effects and we're going to put lift on this one. And as you can see here, you can adjust the intensity of how much it has. And I'm just clicking through here to see which effect I would like the most. So we have neon right here and we are decreasing it and increasing just to see what works best. We have echo and we're adjusting it to see which is going to work best. So right now we're just determining, moving things around, making sure everything is centered and everything is clear. We're going to go ahead and lock this particular background so that I can adjust these words down here without it moving with the background. We're going to click this to make all of this the spacing, making sure the spacing is good. Then we're going to just go through the fonts to see if we want to use another font or not. I do like to use the same fonts. If I choose like two or three fonts, I like to use the same fonts throughout the whole design. So I'm just trying to determine what font looks the best. And there I made it a little bit bigger. Making the letter spacing. Because this text looks tiny, I'm trying to see what would be the best font to use, and I'm making it a little bit bigger so people can see. Now I'm going to highlight them and I'm going to group it together. That's why it's important to have your background locked already, because if not, that will move with it. And so there we go. We locked that together. So every time we move that, they're going to move together. I'm going to do the same thing with this text over here. I'm making it the same exact font as the 1 p.m. Eastern, and I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Changing, adding today as well, stretching it out. And I'm going to determine what font I'm going to use over here. The same one I used on the bottom one. And I'm going to go ahead and group these together as well by highlighting them together. As you can see, she got attached with it, so I'm going to have to lock her position as well before I'm able to group them. I'm going to have to position, go down to overlying, select her, and select lock position only so that she doesn't move when I move this text. Then I'm going to go ahead and highlight and group that together, and now I can move that as one. I'm going to go ahead and group together join live in the blue background button so that it moves as one button, and I'm making it a little bit bigger. So now this design is pretty much done. I just go in and clean up some things, make sure that I like how the fonts that I use, I like the color placement. I liked how everything came together. And once I determine that, I'm able to go ahead and download this and share this with the client that I have made this for. Um, and so if this video was helpful, please go ahead and give this a comment, a like, subscribe, and give me a comments below if the videos that you want me to create next on how to use Canva, or specific things you need help with in Canva, and I will go ahead and work on those videos. And I really appreciate you watching, and have a good day. Bye bye.